Welcome to this week's episode of Southpaw Saturday. Today is open topic week, so I'm going to be discussing psychology and asexuality, and psychology and asexuality. Okay, so on the forums, I've noticed that a lot of asexuals discuss how they sometimes see therapists who completely discount their asexuality. I find this utterly wrong, since psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers, all of that are supposed to be some of the most open-minded and least judgmental individuals. So to say, no, you're not asexual, you're this, is extraordinarily narrow-minded. I do believe in some cases there are occasionally other reasons for asexuality, such as rape or abuse leading to being turned off to sexual attraction. But I also think therapists should actually listen to their clients and keep an open mind that there is such a sexual orientation, that it's not a problem such as a hypoactive sexual desire disorder, which, by the way, is an issue with sexual desire, not with sexual attraction anyway. And the same thing goes with other psychological issues. I know a lot of us in the asexual community have some psychological conditions going on. Well, so do a lot of sexuals. I don't think having or not having psychological conditions has any effect on a person's sexual orientation. Depression, for instance, can lead to the loss of someone's sex drive, but again, that's separate from not experiencing sexual attraction. So, my personal view of psychology is that I'm not here to force a cure on anyone. I think all people have psychological issues to one extent or another, that everyone is on this kind of mental illness spectrum. Some people can go their entire lives without experiencing symptoms that make it more difficult to cope with life's challenges, while other people have symptoms that make it a bit more difficult to cope with such challenges. I feel that therapy is about helping people learn to cope better, to learn that, sure, you have problems, but you don't have to let your problems get the best of you. You can gain the skills, you can learn the skills that can help you help yourself. Okay, bit of a personal story here. For me, from the age of 7 up until I started college, I had OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that, thanks to TV shows like Monk and other media. I worried about germs. I had a lot of superstitious ideas about numbers, like I had to open and close my locker 5 times or something bad would happen, and I didn't even know what would happen. It's just that nagging anxiety that makes you feel you have to do this or else. And it was completely illogical, but that's what anxiety disorders are like. They don't make sense. And I never sought treatment for OCD because I was too afraid to tell anyone about it. I didn't want to be labeled as crazy. But I should have gone to therapy, because a good therapist wouldn't have called me crazy. A good therapist, I feel, would have explained what was going on in my mind and would have helped me learn to cope more efficiently instead of what I was doing, which was washing my hands 20 times a day. I think, too, that it's this issue of labeling that a lot of asexuals are concerned about. Unfortunately, just as people are sometimes treated differently when they come out as mentally ill, people are sometimes treated differently based on sexual orientation, especially those of us who are asexual, since we're not even considered a legitimate orientation by most of society. I think it's important to have more mental health education in high schools, for example, so students can learn that people with mental illnesses aren't crazy. We're different. We don't need their fear and their misunderstanding. We need their help and their acceptance. It's the same thing with asexuality. If we don't educate people, then we'll never be accepted, because they won't understand. And that's why I'm a really huge fan of visibility, all sorts of visibility, mental illness visibility, asexual visibility, just anything, because if there's something we need, it's really to help people to open their minds, that there's so much variation in this world, and that it's good variation. Thank you for watching. I thought it was really great this week to see everyone's viewpoints on such original topics. So I hope you enjoyed this and that you've learned something, even if that's just to be a more open-minded individual. So I'll see you next week. Bye!